The first funerals are to be held in Volgograd after the city was devastated by 2 bomb attacks in less than the space of 24 hours. At least 34 people confirmed dead, scores more wounded. RT's Margaret Howell reports from a city in mourning.
It is tense. It's also very somber. Traffic seems to be moving more slowly. I was able to catch up with some of the family members of people who have died, namely the father of the security guard, who's one of 2 people who will be having a funeral today. And here is their story. It's been one more uneasy night for the residents of Russia's southern city of Volgograd. Loved ones of the injured in 2 terror attacks held vigils in hospitals. Others mourned.
He was a good man, a good father, a good son, a good grandson. There are not so many of such good ones around. The good ones die first, they say.
With barely contained tears, Vladimir Nelivico clutches the memory of his son, who was the first victim of Sunday's attack in the train station. Sergei was a security guard there.
He had this job for about a year. I saw how it all happened on the video footage. He was standing by the railing during the security check, and then there was this man coming in, and he just barely made it towards him, and then there was a blast, and it was over, and no more footage. He stopped that man who was trying to get through the security gate, as he had to. Yes, that's what the camera showed. I saw him doing his job, smiling. He did what he had to do. That was his duty.
Sergei's family mourned Monday night with only the conviction that he carried out his responsibilities to bring them any small comfort. For others in Volgograd, the night brought fragile relief and the knowledge their loved ones were spared. But they woke up the next morning to a second suicide bomber, this time on a city trolley bus.
I can't remember anything. I was deafened by the blast. We had almost reached the bus stop when the explosion went off. It was like an electric shock all over my body. I can't remember. I didn't see anyone. I was sitting and looking out of the window when it happened. I think I was the last to be carried out of the trolley bus.
Now, no doubt, any of the people of the southern Russian city expected to have 2 suicide bombers factored into their New Year's Eve celebration, shopping, and travel plans. Volgograd is still reeling after 2 terror attacks within the span of 24 hours. We met Vitaly in his home just hours after his friend was killed.
I was shocked. He had a family, a young wife, and a small child. It's very sad to realize that a young man died in such a tragic incident.
Stories like these are pouring over the Volgograd city limits, with the residents there hoping for more time to mourn their families and friends and rebuild their lives. In Volgograd, Margaret Howell, RT.
Another one of the victims of Sunday's blast at Volgograd's main train station was police officer Dmitry Makovkin, who eyewitnesses say also threw himself on the bomber, possibly saving the lives of dozens of people. Investigators have been saying both explosions were carried out by male suicide bombers, and sources have named a suspect in Sunday's attack, saying it's a Russian citizen who is reportedly a member of a Dagestan-based militant group. Volgograd is a main transport hub, which could have been one of the reasons it was targeted. As you can see, the city is about 1,000 kilometers from Moscow and about 700 kilometers away from the Olympic city of Sochi. But security has been toughened across the country. Geopolitical analyst at StopImperialism.com, Eric Draitzer, says Russian intelligence has extensive experience dealing with these kind of situations.
What we're going to see is certainly a very public crackdown, one that's intended to send a message, but likely the real machinations are going to happen in private as the Russian intelligence services and the various other relevant agencies do their work behind the scenes. Remember that this is precisely the kind of work that the Russian intelligence services were doing in the aftermath of the Boston bombing here in the United States, which, according to the narrative, also emanates from that very same region. So we'll see much of the same, and hopefully, at least from the perspective of Russian society, we'll see an improvement in this situation as those services attempt to root out those terrorists.